Welcome back, everyone, to Franchise Premier League Game 2 of tonight between Final Boss and Silversong. Final Boss had a dominating victory in Game 1, and they're looking to repeat their success in Game 2. And it's up to Silversong to run it back, see if they can take us to 3 games off this win. Both team comps a little bit crazy, a little bit wacky, but fun to see nonetheless. And we're going to jump straight in as Little gets ran down by 4 people, maybe? I don't know. True, take us through this.
I mean, Little was able to see them walking through the lane very early on, and at that point, really the only thing that might catch the Yorick is a rogue Senna W, just off of lollipopping. It actually might seem that his blind hooker's in a bit of trouble, but able to use that charge to make their way on out. And at that point, like, the only thing that Final Boss get out of it is Senna getting an extra soul in that very moment. It's not super consequential, right? Like, it feels good to get if you're Senna just to get that soul generation going. But at the end of the day, nothing all that much changes.
Yeah, I gotta agree. One thing I want to talk about the draft that I think I forgot to mention before. We did actually agree. I think you were right. True at the beginning. It is going to be Nautilus in the jungle.
Yeah.
But that's the thing against Trundle. Trundle now has 3 excellent targets to hit that subjugate on, especially if you're playing Nautilus the way that you intend to. Running in with the hook and just full comboing someone until they're CC'd to death. If Trundle gets the subjugate on you as you hook in, you're just gonna get exploded.
Yeah. I mean, like, Trundle can be a real X factor just off of having Subjugate down. Um, when you turn a champion that's supposed to be hard to kill into something like incredibly squishy, it can really disrupt what Silversong in this case want to get done, or like it disrupted like their entire flow of their team fight. I do want to say here in mid lane, things kind of proceeding as expected with Sunny D Swag just being so aggressive into Fox's Ziggs that it kind of feels like the Akali just wants to choke Ziggs out and deny. Admittedly, their CS is just about even. The Akali, I think, has just like a lead of 1. But certainly things playing out as we hoped.
Oh,
Oh,
Flash heroic charge into the wall. The Senna's taking low. Angel taking so much damage. Melee Vein dropping the arrows. Flashes into follow. Can't get the auto attacks, but now they're on top of Griffin. The lethal tempo is fully stacked. So is the Ranger's focus. Doesn't have vision in the bush, so has to disengage. So a trade of summoners. The Flash barrier being traded for the Flash of both Blind Hookers and Ash.
yeah, and they're in top lane. We're kind of seeing why York can be quite effective into a Vladimir. Just having that missed wall go down means that Vlad can get stuck in it inside pool, and there's not really anything that you can do about it in that very moment. It gives York just the opportunity to get a lot of damage down.
See the mist hitting onto Hwassel, gets hit with the cage. Little is in here just bonking him with the shovel. Hwassel can't do anything but just stand there and take it.
Ignite.
Ignite drop down. Sanguine Pool. Can Little get the kill to finish? Cannot. One more auto attack would have killed him, but a nice aggressive look from Little, forcing out the flash from Hwassel. Hwassel has to back and does not he does not have the TP, but Little does. So Little not having the flash means he can't follow, but Hwassel not having the TP means he's going to lose a massive stacked wave.
Yeah, Fallen's walking up here, but I think that the Yorick is just too far away to get interrupted by Final Boss's jungle. At the very least, right, you are going to have that Trundle soaking up that golden XP from that crashed wave. But yeah, it doesn't feel great. Also, just as a bit of an aside, right, this is the first time in quite a long time that I've seen both top laners take Ignite in top lane. It kind of feels like season 3 is calling. They want their summoner setup back. Like, it's just not super common to see both top laners have Ignite. Even in regards to Vladimir, right? Like,
Oh,
I
Conguito
honestly
looking for the gank. Actually, still going on a turret, maybe? Oh my god, that was a
no,
bit
no way.
scary. Okay. He is on vision if he recalls on that tri-bush, though, so that is a
Mhm.
key point of information for Final Boss.
Yeah, I was about to say, Griffin, just don't walk up, man. Like, you know exactly where the Nautilus is. There's no reason to walk up, like especially seeing that Poppy and the Ash are still in the area. But Griffin walks away. Colossal's not having a fun time here in top lane.
Yeah, I
Like,
think the Vladimir just struggles really heavily to kill these little ghouls with the auto attacks. Little's just pounding him with the last rites, able to get the
mhm.
mist stacked on him. And Wassel either has to burn the pool and a lot of HP to dodge it, or he just has to be really good on the footwork. And you see the first item here from the Vlad actually being the Dark Seal. So not able to back with the boots means he's going to be getting bonked with that Morning Mist a lot in this laning phase.
Yeah, I mean, looks like Wassel is just gonna try to content themselves by having the sustain right from transfusion, but it just doesn't feel great. Once again, the solo lanes for uh, final boss not feeling all that hot at the moment. The bot lane was pressured earlier, as we saw between Angel and Griffin, but um, at the very least, I will say that the state of solo lanes does not feel necessarily as catastrophic, right? Um, Wassel is going to be able to heal reasonably well. But then as far as mid lane goes, it doesn't look great for Fox, right? This Akali is really putting the pressure on Ziggs. You can see like roughly a 2-wave lead in CS for Sunny D Swag. And that's rough for Fox, but I think that's just kind of what we expected based off of that first game.
Sunny CD Swag hits the
That's
shuriken
wild,
flip, doing
bro.
so much damage. Fox has to flash out of there. Surely would have died if Sunny D Swag invested that perfect execution. So I think that was a necessary flash. But now no flash, no TP means that Sunny D Swag gets just a free wave to themselves. That's going to make that lead even bigger. But now we see top lane, Little actually getting a huge amount of turret plays, uses the terrain to separate Fallen. Fallen's just taking this fight, but Little is here bonking with the Ignite. The Maiden's doing so much damage to Fallen. Fallen has to ghost out. Wassel's here with the level 5, so he's not level 6 yet. Actually, Sanguine Pool's on top of Little. Little has no mana, though, to use any more of his spells. One more Last Rites charged up that chooses not to use it. So his 1v2 in the top lane means Conquito secures the Dragon for Team Silversong.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was honestly kind of scratching my head there a little bit, seeing this level 5 Trundle walking towards a York with Maiden out. Like, yes, Little doesn't have a lot of mana in the tank, but York's Q costs like something minuscule, right? Like, it's not much mana at all. Yeah, it's 20 mana. So at the end of the day, if you think that York is out
Oh,
of mana, he can
Dredgeline
still
missed
hit
the
you with a
wall. Fallen
shovel.
bonking him on the head with the chomp. Does not have flash, but now Senna is here, misses the morning mist, and now just auto attacking. Conguitos is looking for the root, gets the root. The enchanted crystal arrow goes
Zero.
from downtown, but it just means the first blood goes to Angel. Sunny D Swag now looking for the kill on Angel. Jumps in with the perfect execution. It's a kill onto Angel as Griffin is taken so low, gets killed, but Hookers gets traded in return. Now it's a 2v2, but Melee Vein does not do enough damage to this team. He's firing down. Fallen actually doesn't have the flash, so Fallen has to turn around and get the chomp, and now it's a 1v1 between the bot laners, Fox and Melee Vein just trading. Fox lands one more bouncing ball, one more auto. It's not gonna do it. The volley and the auto is not enough, though, and it's gonna be a kill for Fox. Blood everywhere in the bottom lane, as it's going to be just everyone dying.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really tense in that bottom lane fight. Ultimately, it's final boss that come away with one man left standing, and like really, it's just one auto, right? Like one auto from anyone, not even just Melee Vayne, from Sunny D Swag or Blind Hookers. That would have made the difference between Fox being the last one standing versus Melee Vayne's Ash. But ultimately, I will say that's kind of an example of what I'm expecting Silversong to want to do in their fights, right? There wasn't a great answer to the Akali. Yes, Sunny D Swag ended up dying, but not before that Akali kind of ran rampant a little bit. And yeah, so final boss, like they do come out on top, like by a sliver, but it looks dangerous for them up here in top lane. Wassel, like the other reason why it's difficult for Vladimir to really deal with the York is that Maiden, right? Like Maiden offers so much damage and so much more healing for York, or like the access to damage, and also York's shovel just allows him to heal. But like it makes it difficult for Vladimir to deal with because as long as Maiden's up, York will match, if not beat you in damage output. You're still contending with all of the pandas in this case, but we're also with the mist wall. So things are just extremely difficult for the side of this Vladimir. Like Wassel hasn't even gotten to use that ignite, so it kind of feels like why did you even take it?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, Hwassel's just getting the beat down in this lane, even in farm, but now
Oh
getting
man.
chunked out. We see the Dark Possession locking him in. Hwassel has to burn the pool again. So Little's just having free reign on this top lane, forcing Hwassel out, who doesn't have the TP. I think that's 3 plates farmed for this Yorick so far, and just able to take the trade so effectively. And him having permanent prio in lane due to the Maiden means Conguitos gets the Void Grubs for his team. That's going to be huge for the Yorick being a side lane threat in the mid late game.
Yeah, I mean things are going a lot better for Silversong this time around. Gold is just about to close to even. Little continuing to be a menace here. I think that's
Able
just a
by getting
kill.
spammed. I think the Ignite is down on both. Wassel
Oh!
flash in though. Transfusion empowered gets the solo kill. Little tanked one too many turret shots, and Wassel, knowing they had an opportunity, just turns that around.
Honestly, I was really just looking at Hwassel like channeling tides of blood, and I thought like, oh man, like that's a fair chunk of HP. The Vlad's gonna die to the ignite. But fortunately, that turret shot, as well as you could see Angel's own ultimate, the Dawning Shadow coming through,
2v1 in the mid lane.
saved
Sunny
that
despite taking so low, but
situation.
the depth charge goes out. A nice shuriken flip out of the Mega Inferno Ball as Fallen's taken so low. One more auto attack does it. Conquitos gets the kill, but dies in exchange. Now Blind Hookers is here. Does not get the heroic charge, but perfect execution is perfect as it gets the kill on Fox. Now getting run down by Griffin and Angel. Can they hit the solar flare? It does. No stun, but it is enough to slow them down. Angel with the last embrace. Easy kill with the auto attacks and the static shift. So it's going to be a 2-for-2 in the mid lane. Absolute chaos everywhere. Sunny D Swag's actually still here. I don't know if they want to defend this by themselves. This is so dangerous. Able to finally clear the wave just barely with the 5-point strike. It does mean there's some free time for Ashe to farm in the bot, but it does mean more money is in this Senna who, last game we saw Angel take over. This might be another game where they take over again.
Yeah, I mean, it won't necessarily be in the same way, right? Senna really needs time. You really need items. Like, it takes a while for that Senna to become more and more relevant. But yes, we are still seeing the bot lane becoming increasingly dangerous for the side of Final Boss. It's really rough for that moment for Blind Hookers because the Poppy was still level 5 and couldn't really knock the Leona or the Senna out. Looks like both teams angling for this dragon now.
Oh, a little getting another nice trade. Look at how long it takes for Vlad to break down the Dark Procession. Oh, we see the Keeper's Verdict used. Red team secures the Cloud Drake as we see Trundle stun into the wall, but it's a hook onto Angel Senna's. She's so squishy, just exploded. So that's 2 kills and a free Cloud Dragon, activating the Chem Soul for Team Silversong. Like you said, they needed this run back, and they're starting it off strong.
Yeah, they're having a much healthier time. Like they're able to use the Poppy. Not necessarily how I was thinking it would be used, like getting the Ziggs out of there. But it actually also meant that really the only person who's in that situation is the Trundle, Fallen trying to secure the steal, unable to do so. But once the Ziggs is knocked away and the Trundle is dead, there's not anything to keep Angel Senna safe, right? We're talking about how dangerous Senna can be, but Senna's not there yet, right? Senna is still a supporting voice in this game at the moment. And Griffin was towards the other side of the pit. Fox in trouble.
Oh, a flash out of the dredge line keeps him safe. So Fox burning that flash for only the Hex flash. That is a Ziggs that is unsafe now.
Yeah, and like that's kind of still sorry, like talking about what happened there in bot lane. It's still a bit of a highlight of what I'm talking about. Like the Leona needs to be in proximity for the Senna to really feel any kind of safe. And unless that's happening there, it's really difficult, I think, for Angel to feel like, yes, I can kind of walk up, especially when you have Keeper's Verdict available. You can just knock, one or both frontline members away. And that's kind of why Silversong, they're a bit more comfortable this time around, right? They have answers to what Final Boss want to do. Now, it can still potentially be a little bit touch and go, but they're executing where they need to and how they want to, especially seeing this Akali, 30 CS up, 3-1 and 4. And this time around, their bot lane isn't getting, shut out of the game, right? The Ashe is even on CS, should be close on gold as well. So things are going much healthier this time around for the side of Silversong, as opposed to game number 1.
Yeah, and it's going to be first item for completed for nearly everyone on the board. We see the Cosmic Drive and the Trinity Force being completed for Hwassel and Little, respectively. One thing I do want to mention, Drew, I'm not sure how you feel about the scaling problem, but it does really feel that Silversong have to keep their foot on the gas here because, you have the scaling threat of the Vladimir, of the Senna. Oh, we see a fight here mid. Sure can flip in as the perfect execution goes onto Fallen. Fallen's just getting chain CC'd. One more perfect execution will do it. The R2 gets the execute. Killing spree for Silversong as we see Angel has to flash away from the wall, making sure they don't get heroic charged in. They get the root onto Poppy, but okay, nothing else from that, but it is a nice use of the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Gets the stun on Angel near the wall. Now the Senna has no flash, but it just means, since Trundle died to that 2v1 in the jungle, it means another objective going over to the side of Silversong. I think that's going to be 3 of those feats secured for them for the side of objectives.
Yeah, I mean, Silversong really just has everything they could have possibly wanted in this early game, right? Like, it's very difficult for Final Boss to respond. Like, we talked about it. Like, I feel like we've talked about this to death, but Wassel's just struggling here in top lane versus Little on this Yorick. Like, there's just no efficient answer that the Vladimir has at the moment. Bottom lane things are at parity, right? And like, if you have a Senna, like, that's not a bad thing. But it's also problematic because you're thinking about that Enchanted Crystal Arrow, you're thinking about the Steadfast Presence from Poppy, but also quite critically, you have this Nautilus Akali duo that is working out really quite well for the
Little traps
side
him in
of
the cage,
Silversong.
but Conguitos is using the Rift Herald behind the turret. I think he's going to crash into it. Little taking a heavy trade from Wassel, but gets chunked down himself. Wassel has to flash out.
Ignite.
Little is trying to follow, but we see a TP coming out from Fox. Fox, will the TP make it in time? Fallen is here with the cavalry, but Little gets takes him down. Conguitos now behind the pillar, has to jump in, gets bounced back by the satchel. One more Mega Inferno Bomb gets the kill. Oh, the Shuriken flip misses. Sunny Swag now in the backline, just executing Fox easily. Now Fallen's in the middle of a 1v2, getting chunked out by the 5-point strike, slowed down. One more auto attack with the Assassin's Mark. Sunny D Swag said, I am not going to be a passenger again like last game. I'm taking this game over. 6-1-4 on the Akali, making things look easy.
Yeah, I mean, things working out really, really well for this Akali, just like showing up at the opportune moment when there is just nothing left in Final Boss's tank to stay alive at that time. And both ADCs tried to participate with their ultimates. Technically, Angels was able to be used, just at the very least by virtue of the shield, and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow went wide. But ultimately, it's just this Akali that's becoming so painful for Final Boss to attempt to deal with. And like we were getting into it during Champ Select, right? There is no targeted CC for the Akali. There is no way to deal with the Akali now that she's scaled up. And that's just showing so much right now. Like, there's no answer. There's no targeted CC. There's no exhaust. And that just means that Sunny D Swag
Oh,
can do what she
Little
wants.
just gets
Angel
over
in a
the
lot
dark
of
perception.
trouble.
Angel taking so low, has to pop the barrier. Holy moly, almost dying to the Maiden and the last rites. Dark Procession was beautiful from this Yorick. At blue turret taken down. Mega Inferno Bomb can't get the steal. Keeper's Verdict over the wall, so that's third dragon at 18 minutes secured for Team Silversong. They are on their way to a very fast Chemtech Soul in this game.
Yeah, and I think one other thing that's worth mentioning here is we were talking about how tanky the Trundle can become, and that's obviously off of Subjugate just stealing stats. But the other thing is, you take a look at what's tank stats the entirety. Oh wait, Little and
Little wasted the Sanguine Pool, has to use the
Possible in
Hemo Plague.
trouble.
Can he get enough healing? Use the Transfusion, but it's not enough. Little just bonks him over the head with the shovel. Sunny D Swag went in for the kill secure, but it was not needed. Little picking up a solo kill, just bonking this vampire, putting him straight back into the casket in this lane. Taken over absolutely. 12 kills to 8, but now it's a 3k gold lead and 3 dragons. Every neutral objective has gone the side of Silversong.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's just nothing that Final Boss have been able to do, right? Like, the Akali is out of control. The Vladimir has been neutralized by this Yorick. Like, they are hoping that Senna will scale up, and like that is something that's technically inevitable. But until then, it's just difficult. Man, Fox is getting manhandled by this Poppy.
Yeah, Fox is getting beat the crap up. As we see, they're trying to set up a TP from Sunny D Swag. Fallen uses the Subjugate onto this Poppy. Fox is running for his life. A flashback into the Heroic Charge. Sunny D Swag gets the execute onto Fox, and now Blind Hooker's taking solo, but Fallen cannot secure the kill. Sunny D Swag, one more 5-point strike. Another double kill for this Akali. Absolutely taken over. Now it's a 3v4 in this top lane. Hwassel gets tagged by the Mist. Getting chunked so low. Every single time they take a hit of the Mist, they're just getting jumped on by the ghouls and ripped to pieces. Unfortunately, it just seems that Final Boss is slowly just getting outside laned in every single situation. Not a lot that they can do in these skirmishes when the Akali is unchecked.
Yeah, I mean, like, you take a like retroactive at the state of things here. Like, did Wassel on this Vladimir need to take Ignite? Like, does Griffin really need to have Ignite when you know how dangerous that Sunny D Swag has been. Like maybe an exhaust could have been more meaningful, but that's all hindsight things. Like, and I think that final boss, like they're struggling. And like just to finish the thought, like all the resistances that you see built by the side of Silversong, it's all armor, right? Like even if Trundle ults somebody, Trundle is not suddenly tanky enough to deal with this 8-1 and 4 Akali. Like all that armor is meaningless at the end of the day. So like the Akali can just do whatever she pleases. And it's
5-1
really, really
Otacon, a
difficult
huge
for
Mega
Final
Inferno
Boss.
Bomb does a lot of damage, but it's going to be secured anyways. But now it means Poppy dies there. A huge depth charge into the backline as we see a Humoplague onto Little. He's taken so low, can't get enough healing. It's a shutdown, but now Sunny D Swag's on top of Fallen trying to take the kill. Perfect execution, Q2 gets it, but now Angel flashes in one more auto attack, doesn't secure it. Hwasel, can he get the kills? Nautilus is solo. Everyone from Team Silversong is running. Hwasel's tanking up the turret, dodges the hook with the pool, and gets the kill with the Tides of Blood. Angel still chasing for the Ashe and the Akali, cannot secure the shutdown. So it is a 3-for-2 on the side of Team Final Boss, but it does mean the key objective of the Otacon was still secured by their opponent, Silversong. That is going to be a huge permanent buff for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Silversong, they do get exactly what they want out of it. Now that being said, Final Boss, they do get a technical fight when they should be able to get at least one of these turrets. Your Fox
does
is gonna
not the
die.
satchel
Oh
in
no.
time. Blind Hookers just tackles him into the wall and gets the solo kill. A bit of a miscalculation there from the Ziggs, not having the game he wanted. But it is a trade, I guess. Angel does secure the tier 1 turret in bot lane, but still, a grave miscalculation in what's not really an even game, right? This Ziggs is already so far behind. You dying there means you have less time on the map to soak XP and gold. This might mean that it's going to be a trade of the mid turret for Team Final Boss, or sorry, Silversong.
No, I mean, like it doesn't look like Melee Vayne
Okay,
or Blind
they're
Hookers are
chilling.
gonna
They're
connect for
chilling.
that. Like they're going back towards like into the red side jungle of Final Boss because that gives them the opportunity to set up for this soul of theirs that's coming up in just about 30 seconds. And yeah, like there's no reason to go for this unbridled aggression for this still relatively healthy mid lane outer turret. It just opens up the possibility of making a mistake, and they don't need to look for that. Sunny D Swag though is sitting around like looking for an opportunity to get an assassination here. This Kali is extremely dangerous.
Very deep, and we see it stacked on top. Fox and Angel are in the same spot. They're walking towards the Akali. The
Oh
Akali
no.
huge 5-point strike. One shot onto the Senna, two shot onto the Ziggs. The perfect execution was not even needed there, really, for the part 2. Sunny D Swag gets a 1v2 solo kill, just cleans up both carries. This is a Chemtech Drake for sure secured on the side of Silversong. Sunny D Swag is really pulling out all the stops to make sure they get back into this game. But now a stun onto Hwasel's Vladimir, but we see, look at the top lane. Little is just taking over the entire base with the Maiden.
Yeah, I mean Yorick obviously when we were talking about it, they do have that flip push capability just off of Yorick existing. And at the end of the day, there is just not anything that Final Boss can do as a response, right? Like their carries die, so they can't contest Dragon. No one's around to stop Yorick pushing, so everything's coming up Silversong again. They get exactly what they wanted out of this situation. And you take a look at Sunny D Swag on that Akali, and like you have to think like should your carries be going into an area that you don't have control when it's not safe? Like, it's not safe. You know how dangerous this Akali is. Now, granted, if Leona and Trundle are there, does it change much? Probably not. It's like this Akali is so well fed at this point that she probably could get the kill on the Ashe and on the Ziggs, even if Leona and Trundle are there in that very moment. There's just a bit of a less there's a slightly less possibility of that exactly happening. But what there is no lower possibility of is Silversong potentially winning this game, right? The Ashe it's not as though the Ashe is like forced into the utility basket. Oh, wait.
Is good onto Sunny D Swag, has the perfect execution out. An overload on the top side, but it fails. And now on the counter side, Fox getting jumped on by 2. Little is on top of him, bonking him. One more last rights gets the kill. Mega Inferno Bomb not really doing anything. Little's taken low, but the Chemtech keeps him healthy. Oh my god, one proc of the Demolish with that last rights, and Trinity Force just takes the turret into pieces. And now we see, I think this might be a desperation Baron. Oh, Angel throwing out the last embrace. Solar Flare hits on a Nautilus. we see getting chunked out, not really taking a lot of damage. A nice
Arrow.
enchanted crystal arrow onto the Vladimir. Conquitos now using the depth charge and the dredge line to get themselves out. You just cannot kill this Nautilus. 2.5 items, just so tanky, and Akali is just so mobile, and every team fight can't get them either. So they're losing everything on the map because this this guy Yorick, this Panda Man, it just keeps going and taking over your whole entire base. And now Hwassel face checking into, gets stunned into the wall, stunned up by the the dredge line, and now Melee Veins auto attacking. Hwassel has to flash out, does get the proc of the Nimbus cloak, just barely gets himself out, but now it's just a Baron taking over. Oh, Blind Hooker is still looking for more. I don't know if they can take this, but they're sure going for it. Hwassel now trying to turn around, gets the transfusion, but it doesn't do a lot. Blind Hooker is so tanky, and now his entire team is there. Mega Infernal Bomb for zoning, but now, boom, Sunny D Swag just gets the execute easily, uses the ulti for a freebie there. It's just going to be kills and turrets just everywhere, just laying waste the entire base of Final Boss, as it's going to be a free Baron Nashor for the side of Silversong off of the performance of Sunny D Swag.
Yeah, I mean, in a similar like beat to the previous game, like at a certain point, there's just literally zero answer that the team on blue side can come up with what the team on red side has, right? Like it's just that the two teams swap places this time around. In the first game, it was the MF brand, and this game it's the Akali, and it's kind of what we expected, right? Like you really need an answer to what the Akali is pumping out, and I don't think any singular member of Final Boss have it. Not to like harp on itemization like too hard here. I think that Leona building Warmogs is completely like maniacal.
Like an absolute devious item choice. I don't think you're gonna get much gold value out of that one, Griffin. Now they're getting run down in their own jungle. Enchanted Crystal Arrow gets them stunned into the wall. We see a huge Mega Infernal Bomb just absolutely tickle the side of Team Silversong. Keeper's Verdict sends out the opponent. I'm having a bit of a visual difficulties with my stream, but now Little's just tanking everything, just not even caring about Fallen, as they just go into a scrap fight with them, takes the inhibitor. They have the Baron buff and the minions firing. It doesn't matter if this troll is hitting you non-stop. Little is just too damn far ahead, and he's taking over the entire base. Might be able to end the game by himself.
Yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, there's just not a single target that Trundle can ult to really feel tanky.
A huge last rites on a Hwassel. Oh my god, just gets ripped apart by the ghouls, by the Maiden. Angel trying to fire back and get the kill, but he's just getting chunked out by the Baron minions, by the Maiden. Griffin jumps in, does have the Warmogs, but it's not going to do much as Little can't die. Fox finally gets the kill with the help of Griffin, and now it's just Griffin traded over for that. Fox is the only one left standing, gets absolutely exploded. Now Angel in the face of a 1v4. The base is gone. All 3 inhibs are destroyed. It looks like Silversong did not take that last loss lightly, as they're going to bring us to a game 3 in a dominating fashion.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's what we kind of expected, right? Like, in the previous game, Silversong had Sunny D Swag on Ahri. Is Ahri a champion that can do extremely well in the right